Welcome back, everyone, to Hearts of Iron 4 Upper Mother Deluge. It's been a long long time, but I'm back. Hearts of Iron is one of those games that if you are not, well, in the mood to play it, you really shouldn't play it, because you're just gonna bore yourself to death. So I'm back in it, and, interesting. Just gonna have to get the hang of things again. You may notice a little bit of a weird, over here, a little bit of a weird interface, but that's because of a mod. So don't get scared. Okay, so it looks like we do have to do a bit of a repurposing of our dockyards. We have a couple of carrier lines going, but I would like more destroyers. And I'm gonna give you over to the Scottish Highlands, since that's where I seem to be. Yeah, that's where I seem to be stockpiling my stuff. That's the war that I'm at right now. It's a mess, an absolute mess. And we took out Siam, which is good. And all the troops that were in Siam we sent over to Afghanistan. And then now we are just kind of, we're against Azerbaijan and the Kingdom of the Caucasus. I'm guessing that's from the peace deal that they had with the Caucasian Republic. And then we're also against the Ottoman Empire in Palestine, which is not going all that well. Other than that, we do seem to have a bit of a scuff going with Abyssinia and America over here, and then another front in Western Africa where we sent our Spanish friends to fight. Other than that, seems to be pretty much normal. We have some free civilian factories. Interesting. I'm just gonna build some dockyards, and then military factories. I could need a naval base later on as well, just for operations against the Ottomans, and then something over here, along with the appropriate defenses. And then we're just gonna have some infrastructure being built. Good. Then we have low manpower, can't really do anything about that. Free military factories, don't really care. I don't think I need to care all that much. Actually, we're lacking support equipment, so let's build more of that. We could also use more motorized. Insufficient resources is going to be fixed by... what are we actually lacking? Oh, a lot of oil. Louisiana, buy their oil. Gran Colombia, aka Venezuela, buy their oil as well. And then Syria. Even though it says that it's waiting for the trade to start, it is going to do that. Aluminum, it's going to be from France, who is our puppet, so it's going to give us for free that nice aluminum. Sorry, a bit of a cold. And that's resistance to occupation, which we don't care about. Okay. Seems like we're fine. So there is a bit of a fight going on over here, and it's a real mess right now. It's gonna be very hard to see what is actually happening. I would really like to get an attack off on these guys, just trap this one Finnish group. Don't want them to stay there. We've also got a little bit of a opening over here. Too many Russian divisions though. Still convoy results, that's really no problem. And we're lacking anti-tank. So let's build some anti-tank. No, not anti-air. Oh, we're lacking anti-tank. We don't even have the research. Interesting. So why do we have anti-tank in our divisions if we don't even have the capacity to produce it? That is very strange. No anti-tank, no anti-tank, no anti-tank. and no anti-tank. I think I have the solution. Do these guys need anti-tank? No. Do these guys need anti-tank? No. Because I was thinking some of my Commonwealth divisions would require anti-tank because of their owner deciding to do so. But to me, artillery and no anti-tank. Oh well, that I think it doesn't really matter at all. Let's finish off this guy. King Albert's regency continues. Field Marshal Horthy was appointed regent of Hungary by the Diet in 1930 after the death of Georgi I. This is like Hungary, obviously. It marks Albert's 18th birthday, but the young king has reportedly been placed under house arrest to prevent him addressing his loyal subjects. The Hungarian Diet, dominated by Horthy's ultranationalists, have given permission to the regency to continue indefinitely. Okay, so he's a dick. We knew that already. Horthy is a real big dick. In case you don't know the history behind the guy, he's not a pleasant fellow. Not a pleasant fellow at all. Why do we have so many research slots? Not really sure, actually. In terms of national focuses, we seem to be going for some military ones. Yep. Which is gonna be fine. At this point, we don't really need anything else because of our already pretty high amount of factories. We don't need more economic ones. Naval battle. Okay, so we managed to sink a lot of Russians. Tons of convoy battles. Wait, we're still shipping divisions in. Not sure for what reason. This guy is also over here. Okay. Nice, so we have managed to get a foothold over here. We might be able to pound them into submission. That's actually a Romanian division. With the mountain terrain bonus, they may be able to resist us, but since we have 3 divisions to their 1, this should be a pretty good victory for us. Good. So, now I think we can use... Not you. You're a little bit too dead. These guys are going to be good enough to take out those guys. So, Radar Belgium wants to send expeditionary forces. Fine. Okay, it's these guys. So I'm gonna send them over to the African theater, to this guy. And, looks like we can force these guys to die, which is gonna be pretty good. And then I'm gonna send them all over the American colonies in Africa. Just leaving this one guy to take the area because he's just a militia, and so he's going to be pretty unimportant elsewhere. And their plan of attack will be to go like this. And I'll assign you guys as well to the plan. Okay, so everyone's assigned. Good. Let's actually edit it a little bit because it's weird. Okay, good. They have made some improvements to the interface, actually, which is, well, great. A little bit late. It took them like 2 months to actually improve the battle plan interface, but they actually did it. So, great. Great for them. These things aren't really needed at all. So for now, we will just leave them be. Infrastructure would be pretty nice, and especially this electronics research would be pretty good. But, I feel like, yeah, I need to go for that field exercises, so I get to use that bonus before I run out of land options to research. So we do have a little bit of a problem with our supplies over here, but I think we can fix it. Especially we can take Addis Ababa, which should be pretty good considering Abyssinia's surrender progress. Where is it? Oh, it's nothing. Never mind. So that's our troops. We have managed to make pretty good advances, but they still have a port over here, so we need to capture that port as quickly as possible to prevent the enemy from using that to their advantage. The enemy does have a lot of troops sitting in Asmara over here, which is not good. And right now, I'm not sure what's supplying these guys. Nothing. So let's send this one infantry division to recapture this area, thereby cutting off these Turkish divisions and also allowing us to supply our troops there a little bit better. Let's also try to attack. Ooh. Well, that's not good. Okay, so they have actually stopped that. They're trying to reinforce the area as much as possible, but... So how could we gain supplies? Well, we can just take Asmara, to be honest. That should be doable. Should it? Oh, they reinforced. They have reinforced it, and that's not good. Let's try to make the surround happen. That? Okay, sure. Just trying to gain as much territory as possible in Central Africa, because that's going to be really important. Looks like the Swedish have sent some volunteers over to America, which is not good. We managed to get a pretty good victory off on the Americans. Let's see, that's good. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get allies against the Americans, at least not yet, which is a bit of a problem. Spain being already in my faction obviously means that we are not going to be able to get them in. Louisiana doesn't want anything to do with us because they're supporting our enemies. That's a problem. So how are things going in Afghanistan? Pretty good, it seems. That's a lot of enemy troops that aren't really in a good way. This guy is British India, okay. Because it seems like a lot of our troops in this area are puppets. So how's that going to go? Very well, it seems. Nice. So let's actually activate the plans. That should be a pretty good push. We've got some support weapons to research. And we have problems in Africa. Of course we do. Our allies are trying to do stuff here, but that's not a very good idea. We can probably try to take whatever this city is. Gaza? Yeah, it must be Gaza. But we can't really do anything else. In fact, we can't even do that really correctly. Whereas over here, things are progressing in a very negative way. In fact, we might lose all these divisions. Unless these guys... in 8 days, I sincerely don't think. Yep. So how are things going over here at least? Seems like pretty well. All these divisions are very low on strength, as you can see from the counters. Except this one Romanian division, for whatever reason. So we're going to have to occupy them as much as possible. Which is not very much, because they're... Oh right, it's the militia. more out of supply in East Africa. Oh well. We knew that was happening. Actually, I should try to... Oh, I don't have the control of the state. Right. That's a problem. Because if I had the control of the state, I could just build a port. Since I don't have control of the state, I'm going to have to try to get to my troops. Which is not going to be easy at all. They also have air superiority. So how's our air force looking? Well, it doesn't have any bases to operate. That's the problem, right? So let's build some air bases. In Jubaland. Yeah, that does not sound very pleasant. Jubaland. And over here, what's actually happening? Nothing much, really. It's just the AI kind of wasting itself on each other. Okay. Let's actually increase the aggressiveness of this guy because it seems like he is doing the best of all of them from the strength bar down here. Let's also increase the aggressiveness of this guy, but this is a problem actually because he's very low on supplies. And that front should progress fairly easily, so I can actually focus on Africa, which is not going that well. So we took out Addis Ababa, which is great. And they're actually, they've collapsed our entire force, which is a problem. That's a very big problem. We might be able to do something with Jerusalem. Because we've got a pretty big attack going in. And we've got a lot of planning bonus, 99%. So our troops are going to be much more powerful than they normally are. And that's going to be enough. Great. So let's actually continue that on. I want to get these guys trapped in Gaza. Good. So let's take them out. Even though it's just one division is still gonna be pretty good in the grand scheme of things. Good. So we've managed to make a pretty good progress, bit of progress over here. We could go for Amman, but I feel like going for the flank over here would be better. And they're trying to desperately reinforce, but, well. Good. We could research mountain infantry, but I feel like that would be a kind of a waste right now. I could go for the Cromwell medium tank. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good idea. So we still got these really shitty cuirassier divisions that we're trying to build with light tanks. How many medium tanks do we actually have, though? Because we're producing medium tanks, and we do have a fair few. So we should be able to build a new type of division. Let's make a duplicate. Just call it. I don't know. If that's a cuirassier, this is going to be the Hussar division. I don't know. And I'm going to replace that with medium tanks. Which, it's going to take 100 of them. Because it's 50 per. And so since we have 500, we can have quite the amount. Though, I'd like it to stay under the 20 combat width. So actually, could go for motorized artillery. Do we have a lot of artillery in storage? We do. We have a lot of motorized in storage? Yes, we do. Okay, good. So let's go for that and remove you. Seems fine. We can also do a... Do we have assault guns? No. Self-propelled artillery? Yes, we do. That's still gonna drive up our combat width, though. $17. $14. Let's do this. This is not a very good division, but hey, it's gonna be fun to use. Let's get them going. They need support equipment, unfortunately. Okay, these guys are ready to ship. And they're gonna get shipped to Africa. Because we're getting fucked. Actually, I need to send them over to a port first. Let's get there, and then you're gonna head off to whatever this... Oh, Mombasa. Okay. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to wait. Or maybe that's just not the port. That could be it as well. Yeah, that was not the port. That's annoying. Commodify our government. And that's... Huh. We've already got everything. War economy. Oh, we could do some limited conscription. Yes, that's gonna be good. And then we do have some more troops over here, and they're gonna be training up. So over here we're doing pretty well, actually. We have reached the Aral Sea, which is this lake, quote unquote, even though they call it a sea. And assault pioneer companies. Could go for more artillery. More artillery is always good. Especially since we are the British, we have a lot of artillery. That's gonna be awesome for us. Why are you moving like that? You should do this. It's gonna be the best thing to do for you. You have some problems for supplies though. But as we fan out, ironically, that's gonna increase our supply situation. Because we are going to have our troops spread out over more supply regions, and so less supply weight onto a single region, and then we're going to have a easier time getting supplies to our troops. Despite the fact that it doesn't make absolutely any sense, that's just how Hearts of Iron 4 works. That's a little bit too early. Could go for mechanized. Not yet. Feel like new destroyers are gonna be better. We have resistance to occupation in Central Asia, and no, I didn't do that. Oh wait, the British Civil War. What? We had war with the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg? Why? And why is it the British Civil War? I mean, what the actual fuck? Sure. I wonder how many troops the Luxembourgish have. Yeah, well, obviously they joined the Russian bloc. I'm still not sure as to what this is all about. I'm guessing it's Belgium being really... Okay, so let's actually see. The Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, you are Nassau loyalists. Alright, and you were with Greater Belgium, right? Greater Belgium, you are retarded. Let's move in, let's occupy this piece of shit, and there they go. Okay, that was interesting. That was a very interesting little moment. So let's see how things are going in the Middle East. Just for a change. Get some good progress going. The main problem over here is that we need to pin these guys in this strip of land that the Ottoman Empire controls over here in the Kingdom of Nejd, because the Kingdom of Nejd is actually neutral. So if we can pin the enemy over here, we can sort of surround a lot of them. Problem is, since there are so many armies operating over here, it's gonna be weird to actually manage all this. We still have big problems in Africa, though. We're gonna need to find some way to fix them. The main problem is still this little corridor that the enemy keeps trying to cut us off from. And over here, we do seem to have managed to take control of a pretty important chunk of Africa. Or at least the American-controlled Africa. Enemy has air superiority over the central Mediterranean. Well, that's a weird place to have air superiority, don't you think? Let's get to our Air Forces tab, because I really want to know where our actual planes are. West Africa. Well, that's very useful, actually. And then we have planes over here. 360 of them. From Oberbayern. And that's not our planes, though, because they're not really showing up. Okay, so South Vietnam has strategic bombers. They don't need those anymore. These guys can move over to a closer airfield, which is gonna be this one, Tashkent, aka not. So the offensive over here is going really well. Which is exactly what I want to see, because this is the front where we will defeat Russia, aka the biggest enemy threat. So it is, if there's one front that we have to win, it's this one. Getting Almata is going to be pretty important for us. We could go for the factory output from inflationary printing. And then for these guys, we're gonna get... Captain of Industry sounds decent. Chief of Propaganda could be good. That production efficiency growth, though, that seems to be the best one. And also the resource, actually the resource gain efficiency is by far the best one. So, expeditionary force from South Africa. No. Well, we're never gonna find it, unfortunately. Because that's just how expeditionary forces seem to work. Air wings and no missions. Yeah, I can't do anything about that, friend. Let's see if we have to repair anything. Yeah, let's do that. I wonder what Persia. Yeah, they seem to be pretty against us. That's still the Grand Duchy of whatever, which is of no consequence. That's our fleet. Okay. How's our fleet doing over here? Don't we have a fleet? I guess they are these guys and they're repairing. No, they're not. That's our new forces. Let's actually hook them up. Where's our other fleets? Where are you? No, not you. Newfoundland. Really? You're in Newfoundland. I guess you're repairing there. So I'm gonna get them all together. At least for now, when I don't have anything to do with them, anything in particular. Akhmalinsk, whatever this place is, looks to be pretty interesting. Right in the middle of the Kazakh Khanate, having a... Oh! Really? China has a claims over here. Well, wouldn't that mean that they would be... Different ideology, eh? We have a war that... Yeah, that's the whole point of inviting you to a faction, though. See, I would really like for it to be that if someone has a claim on someone else, they will be more likely to join a faction with their enemies. Because, you know, that would make sense. A lot of sense, actually. Which is kind of verboten in lovely Hearts of Iron these days. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a stalemate going on over here, but we can actually make a pretty good offensive. Like this. We actually need to send troops to Libya, because the Americans and the Russians are pushing in from behind us. Which is not exactly what I would like to happen. Gonna have to send these guys over from Dunkirk. Really? Okay. We also have you. Finding a port sometimes. Did I ever send these? Okay, finally they managed to reach here.